Hey, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Lynne. And it's still February, so it's still my birthday month. I just got a few more weeks left or days left um, that I'm celebrating. And just like I've been saying before, I've just been bringing in people who are close to my heart during this month because it's Heart Month. And young ladies that I absolutely adore. My balloon is still there. The happy birthday balloon's still there, still celebrating, still taking gifts, guys. I take Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, hard, cold cash, mail it to me. I'll take it. Just kidding. But I have been having a great time celebrating my birthday this month. But today I have on some young people. Like last week, I had on some folks closer to my age, well, actually the last few weeks, they've been my age. But today I have on some youngins. We're talking about some Gen Zs. Yeah, she's still a Gen Z. I don't think she's was a millennial yet. No, that'd make me way too old. And if she is a millennial, we're gonna lie and just say she's an older Gen Z. So I wore my ball cap today in a sweater because I wanted to look like I was more cool and young in this episode since they're with me. So this is my rendition of trying to look like a teenager. When you watch this, you can let me know if I pulled it off or not. But I have some great young people. You know what? I'm just going to bring them on now because I know right now they are biting at the bit to get on screen. So let me get them. They're in my backstage. Hey, Ildy. Hey, Leah and Kalia. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Guys, I'm wearing my young folk clothes today. What do you think?
You look good.
Do I look like a teenager?
Yeah, you look pretty. I would say you do.
Are you lying or telling the truth?
I
You
think
know
you
Jesus
can
is
pass.
listening.
Right, you can pull it
I
off.
think
You
you
can pull
can
it
pass.
off.
I can pull it off. All right.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to tell my kids that because they would disagree. So my oldest was going to come on today, but she just wasn't able to, with us changing the day and everything, it just wasn't going to work out. So I'm going to force her to do a mommy daughter show. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
I may find out there's a lot of stuff that's going to get aired on YouTube that may not have been great. And I may need, but Ilda, you're now a therapist, so I may need to call on you to come help my heart after that episode if they say some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to use that.
Just hope you take my insurance.
Oh, it might just have to be a cool chat because I don't think ethically, though, I'm supposed to be able to see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we have to call it something else.
Yes. Like a support appointment, like just a chat,
Okay. All right. All right. I get you. Just a chat.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing? Leah, Kalea, how are you guys doing?
We're doing really
that light.
good.
Oh, that light is better. Who is our star in the background making you guys look good?
It's our brother, Joshua.
Yes. Good job, Joshua. Awesome.
Yeah. But we're doing good. Everything's been really good.
We're good.
Yeah.
So what's new in your lives?
School, I guess. I'm taking a lot of APs this year, so it's like a lot of work. But other than that, everything's been pretty chill.
Yeah, for me, I'm starting my softball season, and so that's pretty exciting.
You know that's my sport, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm getting ready
Sport.
to, start training for that or practicing for that, so that's exciting.
I don't miss those cold practices.
Neither do
Rainy.
I. Not looking forward to that.
Rainy, cold, muddy,
Mm.
Yeah. Don't miss it at all.
Oh, I'm ready for the heat.
Yeah. Okay, so there's something I started doing new this season. This is actually season 2. Like I started doing this show last year, and I'm still learning. Honestly, I'm still learning. I still don't feel like I necessarily have any idea what I'm doing. But I thought I needed something kind of cool to like start, my show with. That's kind of like an icebreaker, but at the same time, it's kind of just like fun. And so I started asking all of my guests just to tell me something like something your secret thing that nobody knows or very few people know. Like, I sleep with my teddy bear, whatever. Like just something that you wouldn't that no one knows.
Okay.
All right.
I guess we'll go first.
Okay.
It's funny that you bring up teddy bears because
I am
I
so prophetic.
literally no crazy, but I do have a teddy bear that I've been sleeping with for like ever. I bring him everywhere. His name is Coco. That's a little embarrassing though. So the second thing I'll say is that I am obsessed with Legos. Like that's my thing. Yeah.
So you build like major, do you like build like major like Lego things?
Yeah, the most recent thing I did was like an orchid set. I'm gonna have it in my room and I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
Like the flower orchids?
Yeah, like
So
it's
you
yeah.
you actually built a Lego orchid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's kind of cool about that is you don't really hear girls really
Mhm.
like building,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So do you have any dreams like being an architect one day? Like you're like going to build stuff.
I mean, like, I wouldn't say an architect, but I love working with my hands, so I think that's
Mm.
where that plays in. But like, it's just so peaceful. Everything's in my control. It's just great.
The truth comes out.
Yeah.
Nailed. You like
Yep.
control.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Well, something. Oh, sorry. Something about me is like a lot of people. I like to binge watch a lot of shows, and I like to procrastinate, like with my homework and stuff like that, and eat in my bed and stuff like that. So yeah.
You know what? You look at you really being vulnerable. Like she's owning it. I procrastinate and most of us like we're like hiding that kind of stuff. But I think we all kind of I think Netflix has ruined us all.
Yeah.
Well, everyone but Ildiko, because like she doesn't like even watch TV. Like I'll mention something to her and she'll be like, never heard of that. Like I don't even understand, But I do. I think COVID and Netflix just kind of,
Work together.
yeah, and just kind of did something because I was never really well, actually, I don't think anyone really binged watched anything because until Netflix, because you couldn't. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm going to really sound old right now. When I was growing up, you had to wait all week for the next show to come out. So
Mm-mm.
you couldn't just watch your favorite TV show and then just keep watching it until you fall asleep.
Mhm.
Like you watched an episode and then you had to wait till next week before the next one came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you didn't even know how to deal with that, do you?
Yeah, that sounds
No.
that sounds pretty rough.
Yeah. And it's so, but Netflix has got us so bad. Like I was watching something on another channel
Mhm.
and it's called, okay, I'm going to give my secret like thing that I'm into right now.
Mhm.
And it's a show called Traders. You guys ever heard of Traders? Okay.
Yes, I have.
Do you watch Traders?
I don't currently watch it, but this summer or at some point last year, um my brother and my
Yeah.
cousin like were into it, and so
Yeah.
I binge watched with them.
Yeah. So it's just like this show where they're in this. I think part of it is they're living in a Scottish castle on this
Mhm.
beautiful property, but there's like three people in the castle with like this, like there's like 20 of them or something, and three of them are traders, and nobody knows who they are.
Oh.
And so they have like different things they have to do, like challenges. And if they win the challenge, they complete it, there's money put in the pot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But if they don't complete the challenge, there's no money in the pot. And then at the end, if the traders every night they like kill someone, not really, like they put a letter underneath their door or something, and and the idea is it's the faithfuls and the traders, and the faithfuls are trying to build this pot to win it at the end, and they'll share the money. But if the traders can get rid of all the faithfuls, they get all the money.
Oh, okay.
Right. And the sad thing is I'm watching it and I really want to be a trader, like
Right?
be that person. I think what I like is I get to have that that it's okay to be bad,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's like my secret, like, people are really learning some crazy things about me this season that, yeah, but that's my secret thing. I like to binge watch traders, right? Or I wanted to binge watch traders. But when I started watching it, I'm back to what I was going to talk about. So they come out once a week. You can't binge watch it.
Yikes.
It really hurt my feelings because I didn't know that when I started watching it, because I was like 3 seasons behind, right? So I was binge watching it because that's what I do when I'm doing laundry, right? I
Yeah.
can't go anywhere, hours of laundry. So I watch something while I'm folding all those clothes. Well, I get to season number 2 and I'm starting the new season. I have to wait a whole week for the next episode. It really hurt my feelings. I was just like, that was just inappropriate and rude to get someone hooked and then make them wait a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Ildiko, it's your turn. Like, we have bore our souls. We got Leah walking around with the teddy bear. We got Claire like, sorry, I am a procrastinator.
Yes.
Tell us, what's your thing?
Well, I actually also have a teddy bear, but
Yes.
it
You can't, first of all, you can't use hers. That is
I
so
won't. I
cheating.
was just I want her to feel
Okay.
not alone in her teddy bear thing.
Yes.
She's embarrassed about it.
Mhm.
So I have one too, but it has like my husband's voice in it, like a Build a Bear thing. So it's there. But mine, I would say, is most people don't know that I actually like to write songs and sometimes poems. It's like a thing that I do. I don't tell people about it. I don't really share much about it. I feel like the only person who's come to know about it is like my husband, and that's only because we got married and now I can't hide it. But before, like, he knew that I like to like write songs and such. But well, now everyone knows. But yeah.
Well,
That's
you are
awesome.
going to like write a poem about me or something cool like that, right? Like, I'm going to be like waiting for the poem about how much I mean to you.
Okay.
I mean, it should be God first. Number one, like the Lord. I get it, the Lord. And you are newlyweds. You got married last summer. Aw.
Yep.
So you are. So I get it. God, Cedro. But then it really should be me. Like, until you have children, it should be me.
All right.
Just saying.
All
That
right. I'll think. I'll see if I can write you.
Did she say she would think about
Consider
it?
it. She'll consider it.
I will
So
consider
rude.
it. Yeah.
So rude. You know
Because
what? I may just remove you from this podcast.
so my process
Call her
is
out.
usually like I don't sit down to write. Like it has to like it just comes. So I would have to try really hard to sit there and like try to, like, but I can pray that the Lord will like just give it to me and I'll write it. Yeah.
Look at her face.
I am doing right now. I'm in the process of thinking to myself, like, I really thought I meant more to you. And
This is too much.
I really thought we had this connection
Mm.
that I'm wondering about now. So I'm gonna have to deal with that.
We do. we do. It's just I have not done that before, so this will be a really new territory of doing it that way.
So
But
have you ever actually written a poem about someone before? Like,
a lot of them are about like God,
okay,
and about faith. I haven't sat down to write a poem about like anyone before.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said,
Mhm.
I think that changes things a little bit for me
Okay.
because it's not like you've been writing poems about these amazing people in
Mhm.
your life and then all of a sudden I'm like a nobody. So, okay, I can appreciate that now and be okay with it.
Yay. Saved.
So, okay, I all right, I feel a bit better. But guys, thank you for coming on today
Of course.
and like being on my crazy show and chatting with me. You guys are just getting a little taste of what my kids go through all the time. You know, this is really, I promise you, like this is not a show. Like this is really honest. This is what I'm really like, everybody. I am not putting on a show for anyone. I literally tell my kids having a weird mom builds character. So that is, I'm really big on mottos and like words to live by. And
Mhm.
so that's a new one that I've given my kids. Having a weird mom builds character.
Sounds pretty
And
true.
Mhm.
they will be able to handle anything that life throws at them because they've had to handle me.
Yeah.
I won't tell your mom, either your moms. Y'all got weird moms too.
Yeah.
Like you guys are nodding your head
Just
like
a little bit. Yeah.
we won't say it out loud. So tell me. So I want your best mom story that you got that you won't get in trouble for sharing.
I have one.
I'll put that out there. I do know your moms, so I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But what's your best
One
mom story?
Hmm.
or feet. Okay. Um. I. Ooh.
You
Okay.
two are nervous. You're
I
like,
know. I'm
can
trying
I
to come up
share
with
that?
one.
I will. I promise you, I will take complete. What's it? I'll take complete responsibility for what happens for you sharing this story.
Okay. All right. We'll do a pool one. Where were we? Universal?
Yeah, we were at
Universal
the Dolphin
Studios.
Hotel.
Dolphin Resort, whatever it's called. Swan and Dolphin. So we were there and I might need help with this, but we were at the pool, I think.
Yeah.
And everybody was like chilling in the pool, swimming, sitting in chairs, anything. And so then my mom, she comes over from the side of the pool and she sits down and then her feet, like she sits and the chair collapses and her feet just go straight up into the air and she's like laying on her back and she just stays there for like an extended period of time and we were like hello, like is she okay, and then she just gets up and goes back with her day. It was like the craziest thing, but that's when that comes to mind.
So she just falls over and then just sits there like,
Yeah, she accepted whatever was meant to happen, just keeps her legs in the air. I was like, there's no way. It is pretty embarrassing, but
I gotta say, I kind of love it. You know, I gotta love it. It may have been, well, your mom's younger than me. So for me, if that would have happened, it's just the fact that I probably couldn't have gotten up. It's like, it's just taking a minute, you know, to get back up again. So, I just don't bounce up like I used to.
Yeah.
How about you, LD?
At first I was gonna share like a sentimental mom moment, but I think I'll
Okay.
do.
I'll
I
take
don't
a
know.
sentimental mom moment.
Oh, okay. Because
If you want to
I
do a
was gonna do
sentimental.
a funny one too. But I'll go with the sentimental one. It was many, many years ago when we used to live in Ghana, and I had not seen my mom in a while because she was here in the West, working and providing. And I went to sleep, And then in the middle of the night, I just hear my mom's voice and I'm like, wait a minute, like what's going on? And I opened my eyes and she was like right there. And I was like, Mom, I just like attached them to her. Um,
Oh,
and I that's like a core memory for me, because I had missed her so much. And yeah, and she came and she tells a story everywhere, but then she doesn't complete the story when she tells it, and everyone starts having questions about like the rest of the story. But it's one of my
you know
favorite.
why, don't you?
What'd you
At
say?
our age, you know why that happens, right? Because at
Why?
our age, we actually don't remember the end of the story.
Mm,
Just owning it, just owning it. We're just like, great story. And then we don't really remember and we just keep on just going on.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I know you guys have a great mom too. Asia's amazing. So,
yeah.
do you have like a sentimental story? I don't want to leave her out there without the world knowing what an amazing person she is.
Well, something that I remember was I was actually at my softball game, and like my family couldn't make it because they were all kind of busy, and so I was actually pitching that day, and I was really nervous, and I was looking around for my family, wondering if anybody had come, and I looked over near like the bleachers. I remember being so happy when I saw my mom sitting in the stands recording me smiling. And like
Aww.
like right after that happened, I was just so happy over the moon because I felt like honestly I could do anything with her
Aww.
there. So
Aww.
Wow, I love that.
That's
yeah.
sweet. Yo, so my daughter Skylar, well, all my kids played a sport,
Mhm.
but Skylar was the one that did the sport that lasted forever.
Mm,
Like Naya ran cross country. Not a problem, right? Because in 30 minutes or less, I can go home.
Mhm.
No matter what the weather, it starts, I can go home. Football games, soccer games that my son played in about an hour.
Mhm.
I can go home, maybe a little bit longer. But Skylar ran track and she ran the 100, which is at the beginning of the track meet. And she ran the 4x4,
mm,
which is like the last race of a
Yeah.
track meet. And then she ran things in between. So we would get to a track meet at 10 a.m. and be there until like 4 or 5 o'clock. And that's if it was local.
mm.
The day that she ran her last race, all these parents were like, oh, I can't believe it's over. It's over. Me and my husband were going, yes. We're done. We were so excited. And everyone was just like, they couldn't believe that we were not like, everyone else was like teary eyed. And we were like, yeah, we weren't that upset about it. We really weren't. Um, yeah, we were glad we were done. We were done sitting in the rain, sitting in the
Mhm.
heat, sitting in the cold. We were done. We were happy. But but we did have I remember those proud moments watching. It was pretty it was always pretty cool. It really was
Yeah.
to watch that. So, okay, guys. So, in March, I've been talking about this in every one of my shows as well because we have a conference coming up, the Women's Emerge conference. You guys all went
Yes.
last year.
Yes.
Did you not? Like, was it not a great experience? I mean, I
It
It
know
was.
I'm
was. It
probably
really
biased.
was.
I know I'm biased, but it
No,
was a
it was
great
great.
experience, I
It was
thought.
It really
great.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was some highlights for you?
Well, as like I feel like there's a couple of things. The biggest thing for me was just like feeling super empowered by women of like just kind of different areas in life. And they were just able to pour into me, and it was just really like inspiring to see um, everyone like kind of like joining together, but like we can all relate on certain things that the world might not be able to relate to. So it was just really empowering. And shifted my perspective on how, I worship, on how I pray. It was just amazing. It was great.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
One thing for me that I thought was awesome was hearing like women's like perspectives, kind of what Leah said, and hearing like what they went through, things that I'm going through right now, and how that like their experience also relate to my life and how they deal with it, and it really actually like shifted the way I looked at things, and it's helped me get through a lot of stuff actually. So
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Ildi?
Oh man, the whole experience was great. Like the travel there, the worship. But one of the sessions I really enjoyed was I think it was a panelist session.
Everyone keeps bringing up that panel.
Yes,
I
yes,
promise you, I'm bringing the panel back
yes,
because I don't think one episode we've done. I've done 3 recordings for this, and like everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that panel!"
yes.
Yeah,
The panel was it was amazing because the ladies that were panelists were just like honest and truthful, and they
yeah,
weren't like trying to like hide things or make it seem weird. And it was just really encouraging to see women who have like gone farther in life, are so full of wisdom,
Mhm.
Yeah.
share and share with so much realness, because I think there's not much of that in
Yeah,
other spaces. So it was really nice to just like
yeah.
the realness of it. I loved it.
I think that's one of the reasons why I love um, when women get together because we don't mind talking. We don't mind saying the real for real stuff. We don't
Yeah.
mind going there. And I think a lot of times in life, we think that we have to have it all together,
Mm,
right? We have to have the right answers. We have to know the next steps. And maybe it's because TV makes it seem like that, or movies, and we need those opportunities just to ask the questions and just to see that, oh, this person that I've looked up to hasn't always had it all together.
yeah,
Yeah.
They haven't always had it perfect. And I think those kind of discussions help with that.
Yeah.
One of my goals is I want to do things different. I feel like the generation before me, um, when I was your age, they only wanted me to see the good, the perfect, and it put a real pressure on me that I felt like I had to be perfect. Like that's what it did. Like only hearing um the good old fashioned testimony service of what God has done in their life, all the amazing things, all the blessings, highly favored of the Lord.
Yeah.
And when I would not feel that way, I just didn't feel like it was safe to say, but I feel miserable.
Mhm.
mm,
And it was an unintended, they were trying to give praise to the Lord, which is great. We need to testify, right? But I think people also need to hear that life's not always perfect, but you can get through it.
Yeah.
mm.
So my goal for you guys is to give you permission to feel your feels.
Mm. Yeah. That's
What do you
good.
think about that?
Um, I think it's really important to just um I feel like it's important to address like the certain aspects that are kind of like touchy feely at church.
Hmm.
Like not it's not always common to talk about the things that you feel like you're alone in.
Hmm.
And that was one of the things that really like helped me the most was like you said being able to hear people talk about the things that aren't usually brought up and discussed about, being able to see the journey rather just than like the overall, success, being able to see what it takes to get to that point where you realize what God was doing the whole time,
Hmm.
really just helped a lot to understand what it's really like to be a woman of God.
Hmm.
yeah.
What are some of the things that you've had to deal with, whether it's college students, you work a lot with college students, Ildiko, and young adults. Um, Leah, you're in high school, correct?
Yeah.
You're now official. Are you like now officially in high school?
Yeah.
And Claire, you're in middle school, correct?
Yeah.
So like I love this because it's like middle school, high school, and college. What are
Mhm.
some of the things that you feel like your generation is going through that
Mhm.
those in my generation are ignoring or sweeping under the rug that we need to start being more honest about so they can help you?
One thing that I feel is like not being able to like talk about how you feel, or like not being able to express how you feel in like all aspects. And I feel like that is really important because it doesn't really allow like girls like me and like at our age to really like feel what we're going through, and have like somebody who's been through what we're going through have like help us get through it. And so I feel like that's really something that I've noticed.
Mhm. Um, I would say like a lot. Like there are ladies my age. I'm in a ladies group. And also I interact with like ladies who are, like not in the faith, and a lot of like anxiety and depression, a lot of like identity issues, a lot of like how do you navigate like relationships, how do you navigate friendships have actually been a topic going that I've engaged with different conversations where like a lot of ladies, like after they hit a certain age where they're no longer like before, like when you're in like middle school and high school maybe, or college, like your friends are, they're your friends because you're in the same space, because
Yeah.
like you're doing the same things. But what happens after you've graduated
Yeah.
and now you're doing a job and you're out in the world?
Yeah.
How do you make like adult friendships, and like how do you
Mhm.
maintain the adult friendships, and how do you make like intentional friendships, not just like surface level friendships, people that you just like know you, so you're friends, but like intentional like friends that like these are friends like for life,
Yeah.
people that you do life with. I think sometimes people are too like ashamed to say like, hey, actually, like I'm struggling like making friends, or I don't know
Mm.
how to be a friend, or how does things like that. And then I think like sometimes like life well, they're not old enough to have a midlife crisis, honestly, but
Listen, I think I was having a midlife crisis when I was like 11 at times. So it's, I think we need to rephrase that. It's the of where you are. So like I'm in
yeah.
the middle of a crisis. Therefore, it's a
Mhm.
midlife crisis,
Yeah.
right?
Just the crisis. Yeah, I agree. And like, because I think maybe we don't hear a lot of like women talking about like the struggles that they've been through. I think some people in my generation are afraid to speak up or be vulnerable, like when they are struggling on like, all right, like what am I called to do? What should my career be? Should I carry myself? How do I dress? How do I like, a lot of people are like
Yeah.
trying to figure out like how to be.
Yeah.
I think those are some of the, that was a lot, but I think those are some of the
Yeah.
issues that like ladies my age are kind of
Yeah.
dealing with. And I'm 25, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. I think I want to do something different this year with the panel. I think I want to have you guys on it. The face. Yeah, I mean, I think
That would be
what
great. No, yeah.
I kind of feel like even when I want to address things, I can give my thoughts, but like you guys are full of wisdom as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think a question that I have sometimes is how do I share with someone your age
Yeah.
something I know that you need to know,
Yeah.
but how do I speak the language,
Mm.
right? And so I think there's some questions that you can answer on the panel for the adults, as
Mm.
well as um, you, Ildiko, being able to answer questions for the high school, middle schoolers that even though I pretend like I'm not old, I wore a hat specifically so none of my gray hairs could be shown while I was talking to y'all. You know,
Yeah.
method in all the madness, right? But there's, I'm thinking, I should have you guys on the panel so that there is like even more of a voice for generations, for every generation to have their questions answered. And the Bible says one generation will speak to another generation. It's not just top down,
Yeah.
right? It's not just the old speaking to the young, but it's the young sharing with the old. And um I think that would be important.
Mm.
But what we definitely need, guys, is we need young people there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just about to say, we plan on bringing like a whole bunch of youth with us. I think it would be really empowering to be able to see like, I don't know, just many different generations of women just
Yeah.
kind of like speaking into each other. So I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Another cool thing we're going to have this year, there's going to be literally one session that is going to be for you guys,
Oh, that's
a
gonna be
young adult
great.
speaker. Celeste is great. She's fiery. She's, and I think it's going to be powerful because she has such a strong message on discipleship
Yeah.
that she's grown up. And what I think is really cool is that when you grown up in the church
Hmm.
and you just always on the church thing, sometimes you forget why you're doing the church thing,
Mm.
why discipleship's important. And so I think it's gonna be great. So you're
Yeah.
bringing like a busload, huh? You're
Yeah, well,
filling that.
that's the goal. Yeah.
That's the goal. That would
Yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah.
How long of a drive? Like you guys are gonna be coming from Connecticut to
We're
Michigan.
Yeah.
flying. We're
You're fly.
flying.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I
Yeah.
I see you. I see you. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at your church in May.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm coming back
For the Bloom
to the
conference.
Bloom. So is it still the Bloom conference, but a different theme this year?
I believe so. I haven't. We haven't
Okay.
heard much about it yet. There, I think the announcement's
Because
coming
I
soon.
was given a catchphrase that your mom is praying about,
Ooh.
but
Nice.
she's not sure if she's going to do that one. And the Lord already gave me a picture
Wow.
for that. So I'm like, please, God, let her pick that. Because if she changes it, I have to go back to the drawing board, right? No. But it was cool. She said something, and I had this picture in my mind, and I think it'd be fun. So, but I'm excited. So I love
Yeah.
it. You guys are gonna bring a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and I'll get to see you 3 times this year.
I know.
That's great.
It's gonna be
Yeah, it's
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember last year, Ildiko, you guys drive up to the hotel and you were like driving this sporty little car that you had rented. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it was like
You were
it
just
was
zipping that little beast around. I was like, okay, I see her.
yes. It was also like such a we literally booked this is crazy. We were like, okay, maybe like we'll Uber around and then we looked and we were like, oh, actually it's not too bad to get a car. And so literally we booked the car as the plane was like taking off. Literally, I was like, okay, I need just a little bit more data to book
Yeah.
this thing. And we didn't know. And we went
Okay.
and it was like an EV. So
Okay. All right. Well, here's this guy. So I have a little bit okay. I don't believe in comparing and competing in a way in which it's to like hurt. But I also think a little healthy competition sometimes can be good. So I just heard that the young ones are planning that they have a goal to bring a bunch of young people. So what you gonna do, Ildiko? Like how many people you bring into Michigan?
well, I'm
And
already
and it's
thinking
only a 4 hour drive for you, girl. It's only
yeah.
4 hours.
Yes. I even like as we were talking, I was like, all right, like let me pull up the list of all, some of the ladies and just like reach out to them and say, hey you guys, it's really not that far. It's
Yeah.
just it's in Michigan.
Yeah.
We can make
And
it.
what I
So
feel like we do with, Emerge is part of Reconciliation Ministries. And we really do keep the cost like it's like $50. Like I've gone to conferences that were like $150.
mhm.
So we try to keep it inexpensive so anyone can afford it. Um, but it's gonna be great. And I'm excited. And Chloe is coming. My girl Chloe will be there.
Yay.
And she always has a powerful word to share, always has like amazing things. And I got to have a chat with Pastor Yvonne from Stone Church, who is actually the host church. And I said, thank you for letting us come because I get it. You don't just let anyone come talk to your people. And she said, hey, crazy loves crazy. I said, all right, game on. Crazy loves crazy. So it's going to be a great time. Well, thank you guys for joining in on this conversation.
Of course.
I don't know,
Yes.
were you nervous to do this?
I was a
A
little
little
nervous.
bit.
A
We're
little
at
bit.
church. Yeah, we're at church right now. So I was just waiting for someone to burst in and scream
Same.
or something.
You're
But
actually
so
at church
far-
right now?
Yeah, we are. Shoot, like
We're in our
we're
foyer,
in the
actually.
cafe. But yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you for being willing to do that with people walking around and not knowing what's going to happen. That's like, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Trust. Yeah, we were trusting.
Right?
Very. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And like I don't take it for granted. I know you guys are busy. Everyone's got a bunch of stuff that you're doing. And so thank you for taking the time to be on the show. You guys did great. I don't know if you thought you were going to do great, but you did great. It was a
I
fun.
was
It was
nervous, but
fun.
thank you.
It was
You
a
were so
great.
nervous.
Yeah.
I think you did just fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so I'll have you guys back on again. We'll do something else. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
All right.
Amazing.
Thank you for joining in. Bye-bye, guys.
First,
Bye.
bye.
Have a nice week.
Wow, that's fun. One of my joys is just talking to young people, and um, I do a mentorship program, and in the mentorship program, I have a bunch of young people that we just talk about stuff. And today was an example of just getting real with some young people and just listening to their knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge that we need to we can glean from, um, but I'm just so excited about what's happening. And this season is going to be great. We have a lot of great things happening. Next month in March, we're going to be talking a lot about women's health things. We're going to be talking about, guys, menopause, being premenopausal. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. The uglies, the dirties. We're going to talk about all of the stuff. So keep tuning in. Please like the show. Please share the show. Please subscribe to the channel so that we can just keep getting the word out to everyone. I want to see women emerge into being everything they've been called to be. No more shrinking back, but let's really bloom and be who God wants us to be. Well, until the next time, thank you for joining. Love you guys. Keep smiling.